or it was?
I assumed it to be. So I take.
Well, hold it. There's a big difference, huge difference.
Well, only what I can say is that she said, "Oh, this is non-alcoholic. So I'm not supposed to drink." She said, "Oh, this is not non-alcohol." So when I got the call from Mr. Wells and he said that I have blue numbers, I was shocked. It really didn't taste like alcohol, but I take full responsibility. I apologize to the courts. I'm trying to do my best to comply with what the courts want me to do. I've been 000 for quite some time.
When you test,
Yes, I
Hayes.
Thanks, Your Honor. This is going to be a waiver and a bond violation.
Yeah, it may not be a waiver. He's blowing numbers. Why?
Oh, Your Honor, this was
Mr. Allen.
an honest mistake on behalf of Mr. Hayes. He had company over on May 8th. He blew a .033 on his Soberlink. He's been on a Soberlink since November. And when he was having dinner, the company that he had with him, his friends and family, they had non-alcoholic wine. And Mr. Hayes was unaware that non-alcoholic wine actually can contain some to little bits of alcohol. So Mr. Hayes just wants this court.
You're going to tell me you got to a .03 on non-alcoholic wine? Is that? No, I mean, if that's what you're telling me, go ahead. I just want to make sure I'm hearing what you're telling me.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Hayes about this, and the only explanation to this violation was what I just stated for the non-alcoholic wine at dinner. And he wants this court to know that this was an honest mistake. He understands that he needs to do his due diligence and make sure that he's not around any alcohol whatsoever. And he would just like you to know that, he's sincerely apologetic, and he's asking this court if it would allow him just to give him a chance to remain out of custody, continue to test while he's doing this.
Then tell me the truth.
Judge Simpson, can I address the court, please?
If you want.
I've been testing for a while, and this all started in 2022 when I took it upon myself to Sacred Heart. And I'm trying to get some closure to this. And I had company over, and we had what I assumed was a non-alcoholic wine.
Hold on. You assumed it to be, or it was?
I assumed it to be. So I take.
Well, hold it. There's a big difference, huge difference.
Well, only what I can say is that she said, "Oh, this is non-alcoholic, so I'm not supposed to drink." She said, "Well, this is not non-alcohol." So when I got the call from Mr. Wells and he said that I have blue numbers, I was shocked. It really didn't taste like alcohol, but I take full responsibility. I apologize to the courts. I'm trying to do my best to comply with what the courts want me to do. I've been 000 for quite some time.
When you test.
Yes, I see Mr. Allen is behind me, so I know what that means. So I mean, I got a lot of responsibility, and I apologize to the courts. I really do, and this will never happen again.
Well, somebody needs to tell me the truth about what it was, because if one counsel got up here and said you were having non-alcoholic wine, but it has some alcohol in it, that's different than it was non-alcoholic wine, or I thought it was, or I assumed it was.
I understand. Well, when I spoke with Mr. Simpson, Mr. Wells, Judge Simpson, he said, "Don't you know non-alcoholic wine contains some alcohol?" And I never knew that. So it's an
not to get you to these. How much of this wine did you have?
I had a couple glasses, and I mean, it didn't taste like alcohol, but I mean, I had a little buzz, but I didn't realize it was going to cause me to Mr. Allen to be standing behind me. And
you got. Don't you worry about what Mr. Allen's doing. You got.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Story doesn't add up.
I understand.
Because it's not off it. Why is he getting buzzed off of non-alcoholic wine? I mean, you know what you're doing at some point.
Yes.
Well, if he wants to waive, he'll do it next week.
Understood, Your Honor.
But at this point, defendant's bond is revoked, defendant's remanded.
It's Your Honor.
Some courtroom excuses are creative, some are bold, and some are so catastrophically self-defeating that they leave everyone in the room stunned, including the judge. This is the story of Mr. Hayes, a defendant under strict court-ordered sobriety monitoring who walked into a hearing thinking a simple explanation would save him. It didn't. Mr. Hayes had been on a Soberlink sobriety device since November, a monitoring system that tracks alcohol consumption in real time. For months, he had been compliant. Then came May 8th. During what he described as an innocent dinner with friends and family, his device registered a 0.03 blood alcohol reading. That's not zero, that's a violation. His attorney stepped up confidently, delivering what seemed like a reasonable defense. The explanation? Non-alcoholic wine. The lawyer argued that Mr. Hayes had been unaware that non-alcoholic wine can contain trace amounts of alcohol. It was an honest mistake, counsel insisted. Mr. Hayes was apologetic. He wanted to remain out of custody and continue testing. The attorney painted the picture of a reformed man blindsided by a technicality. The judge wasn't buying it. With sharp precision, the judge demanded clarity. Was this actually labeled non-alcoholic wine, or was it merely assumed to be? That distinction, the judge made clear, was enormous. Then Mr. Hayes spoke for himself, and that's where everything collapsed. I assumed it to be, he admitted to the court. Not confirmed, not labeled, assumed. He then revealed that a woman at the dinner had told him the wine wasn't non-alcoholic, meaning he had information suggesting it contained alcohol and still drank it. He had multiple glasses, and then came the moment that sealed his fate entirely. I had a little buzz, he told the judge, but I didn't realize it was going to cause this. The courtroom shifted. A buzz from non-alcoholic wine. The judge's skepticism transformed into something far more serious. You cannot claim ignorance about a substance that gave you a noticeable physical reaction. The defendant had just dismantled his own defense, word by word, in open court. The judge pressed harder. The math simply didn't add up. Non-alcoholic wine, even with trace alcohol, does not typically produce a buzz or register significantly on a sobriety device. Something wasn't adding up, and the judge said so directly. I understand, it doesn't add up. The prosecutor was standing ready. The probation officer was present, and Mr. Hayes, despite his sincere apologies and genuine remorse, had just handed the court all the evidence it needed, not through forensic testing or police reports, but through his own words. The judge's ruling came swiftly and without hesitation. Defendant's bond revoked. Mr. Hayes was remanded into custody effective immediately, right there in the courtroom. It was one of the most dramatic self-inflicted legal collapses imaginable. A man who had months of clean tests, a supportive attorney, and a sympathetic story, undone entirely because he couldn't stop talking. The lesson? In a courtroom, sometimes the most dangerous witness against you is yourself. अगर आप चाहते हैं कि ऐसी रियल कोर्ट स्टोरीज आपको मिलती रहें, जहां सच और इंसाफ की जंग होती है, तो अभी चैनल सब्सक्राइब करें, बेल आइकॉन दबाएं और ये वीडियो अपने उन दोस्तों को शेयर करें जिन्हें लगता है वो सिस्टम से बच सकते हैं, क्योंकि कोर्ट में सच हमेशा बाहर आता है।